Hello everyone, welcome to One by One, a podcast where we uncover the stories, strategies, and secrets behind extraordinary success. I'm your podcast host, Robert Murigi, and we'll be building each other from the ground up. Join us as we uncover the blueprints of building a life, a career, or a business from the ground up. Subscribe now and never miss an episode from us. And what happens when you get to that work in time and everything is being organized properly? You know exactly what you need to do that day. What are we supposed to be focusing on at this time? And this brings us to our weekend special, and we are going to be talking about our day-to-day safety and security in any workshop. Whether you are you use it as a hobby or it's a profession, or somewhere in between there, safety and security is paramount for any successful business. And therefore, when we talk about this, we are creating that environment where it is very important for that workshop for everyone who is there and every person who is involved in that business each and every day. Not only does it protect you or your fellow crafters, but it also ensures that the hard work that you have put on that kind of structure or business is not compromised. Let us talk about some of the hazards that you might encounter in a workshop or any other place where work is being carried out. Workshops can be a place where there is a lot of activities, there are tools, there are materials, there's so many other projects which are ongoing. But what are some of the hazards that we normally encounter in any workshop? Assuming that in that workshop there is a section where there is welding which is going on, what happens to this welding area? Is it barricaded? Do you have some separate places or a separate place where you do your welding? Because in this workshop you might also have another car there or an equipment which is using petrol. All these things we have to think about, and we also think about other things like sharp tools. We have knives there, we have chisel. Let us be aware of this. Where your hands, make sure that you only put your fingers where you'd like to put everything else in yourself. And also let us talk about heavy lifting. If you're moving materials or some larger equipment or some tooling, it is always good to either lift them properly or ask for help. Otherwise, your back will never thank you for destroying it. And then also we have some of the chemicals, and we have some safety that we need to employ when we are dealing with chemicals. In many workshops, we would have adhesive or solvents or even turpentine or some of the some thinner. You see, you don't want to be touching these things without knowing what they are. Familiarize yourself with the material safety data sheet and ensure proper ventilation in any workshop. And also we talk about cluttering. A tidy workshop is a safe workspace. See, so clear everything, all the debris, and store them properly to prevent a tripping hazard. And therefore, let us think about the safety, because an accident can happen at a blink of an eye. Take time to identify the potential hazards. That goes a long way in preventing that incident or that accident in your workshop, so that you can see tomorrow in everything else that you do. But what else can we do so that we can help ourselves? And these are some of the other things that we need to be looking into on this weekend special. We have personal protective equipment, PPE. What are these things that we are talking about? Now that we have already discussed about the hazards, we can move to this and see how important or how well we can do this so that we do not neglect those things that can save our life and our families' lives. When we talk about safety, and we always say that safety is number one, but what does it exactly mean when we talk about those safety glasses? protect your own eyes from the frying debris. You see, you might be using cutting disc. Always make sure that your cutting disc has a handle where you can hold it properly, and make sure it has a guard so that no debris flies out and hits your face or hits your eyes and you never be able to see again. But what else can we do? Because not all the time that we will need to use safety glasses or the hard gloves or any other protection. But this depends on the task which you are already doing. That when we talk about hearing protection, what do we do about this? We do not want to lose our ears. We want to listen to ourselves until death does us apart. But if you're working with your very loud machinery, earplugs or earmuffs can help you prevent from long-term hearing damage. When you're also working with hot stuff, there is different types of gloves that you can wear, and all these gloves are made for different purposes. We have some gloves which are good and they are all suited for chemicals. There are other gloves which are suited for just doing other hard jobs, and others are suited for holding hot metal or hot equipment. Some of these tasks will require some other gloves which can help you to hold sharp edges or sharp objects, and with others we can always do it right when we do it right. Now, we also talk about steel toe-cap boots, but do we really want to drop that gearbox or that engine or that crankshaft on our feet or on our toes? If you have an environment where heavy equipment may fall, it is always good to invest in a good pair of steel toe boots that could live and could help you to save your life. And therefore, when you do it right, you also set that example to other people working in that workshop. And when we talk about this, we are not only talking about this so that we can look smart or we can also impress others, but we make sure that we do this to ourselves so that we are able to mirror this to everyone else. The other one thing that we cannot ignore and we cannot forget is emergency preparedness. How are we well prepared? Do we have first aid kit in case we have anyone with an injury in the workshop? We are able to give them that first aid in time. And we also have, do you also have like emergency exits in case of anything? We don't have anyone getting trapped inside the workshop. But are we also thinking about the fire? Do we have fire extinguishers which are already properly labeled and also well ready to be used? Are they up to date? Do we have them ready to work? Let us all think about this. And therefore, it's always very important to create that emergency action plan that includes all what we need to do in case of a fire. Very important also to do the regular drills to make sure that this plan is in everyone's mind and it is well stuck. The last and not the least thing that we are going to talk about today is the security in that workshop. Let us talk about this, and this is where we are trying to protect this space. This is our creative space. This is where we get that productivity. We have to do it right. But how can we do this? We rock it up, always rock it up. When you leave, consider installing security system so that you can protect your tools and materials that you have inside that workshop. We have inventory management, keeping that inventory of tools and materials, and of course knowing that what you have and what you do not have so that you can replace it in time. The other thing that we could do very well is to have the proper lighting in that workshop so that inside and outside we can deter those people who normally come at night. And therefore, when we do it right and we do it once, we do it again. And whether you are an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or simply someone looking for inspiration, One by One we will equip you with the tools and insights you need for you to lay that foundation for your own success stories. If you enjoyed this episode, Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. Your feedback helps us to grow and to bring you even more inspiring stories. Thank you for listening to Building from the Ground Up. And remember that every great accomplishment starts with one single step. What will you build today? And until next time, keep building, keep striving, and keep reaching for your dreams.